Everything seemed calm, until it wasn't. In a twist that fans are calling the most chaotic sequel nobody saw coming, the internet is buzzing all over again as the fictionalized Tessica Brown finds herself spiraling into a brand new wave of drama. Picture this. It's late at night, the house lights are dim, and Tessica is pacing across her bathroom floor, her voice trembling with equal parts frustration and fear. Emotions ran high, tension crackled in the air, and every second felt like a countdown to disaster. And then, the unthinkable. In a moment of pure desperation, she reaches for a pair of scissors. But what pushed her that far? Why no? And what actually happened in those frantic minutes before she made that drastic decision? Friends claim they heard shouting. Her sister insists she tried to stop her. Neighbors say they heard something that sounded like a meltdown. Social media, of course, is exploding. Fans are shocked, confused, and glued to their screens, wondering if the whole ordeal is some kind of dramatic stunt or a genuine cry for help. Whatever the truth is, one thing is certain. Tonight marks the beginning of a storm that will leave Tessica's world shaken, divided, and forever changed. The clock on the bathroom wall ticked loudly, each second echoing like a reminder that time was running out for Tessica Brown. The fictional version of her in this dramatized universe was trembling, clutching a damp towel in one hand as she stared into the mirror, her reflection tense, frantic, and exhausted. Her hair, still stiff and unmovable despite countless attempts to loosen it, seemed to glisten mockingly under the harsh fluorescent light. She muttered to herself, "Why won't this stuff let me go?" Her voice cracked as she paced back and forth, frustration rising like boiling water about to spill over. Earlier that day, she had tried yet another internet remedy suggested by a self-proclaimed haircare guru who swore she had a secret solution. But that solution, a mixture of oil, vinegar, and what smelled suspiciously like dish soap, had done nothing except make her entire house reek. Her best friend Shanice had been there to witness the mess, throwing open windows and waving a towel in the air while complaining, "Girl, I swear somebody on the internet is trolling you at this point. This ain't no solution. This is sabotage." Tessica didn't respond. She just stared at her reflection again, her eyes red-rimmed and tired, her pride bruised. Ever since her first viral moment, she had desperately tried to move on. She had built a platform, had brand deals, had turned disaster into opportunity. But now, in this over-the-top fictional turn of events, she was face-to-face with a relapse of the nightmare she thought she had left behind. What made it worse was the growing pressure. Messages flooded her phone constantly. Some fans were concerned, begging her to go back to a medical professional. Others accused her of staging the new crisis for attention. And then there were the trolls, loud, relentless, and cruel. The comments made her stomach twist into knots. "Here we go again," one wrote. "Just shave it off and be done. Girl, don't nobody have time for another Gorilla Glue saga." She slammed her phone down, the sound bouncing sharply off the tiled walls. "They don't understand," she whispered. "They think this is funny, but it's not. This is my life." Her voice shook with anger and despair, and Shanice tried to calm her, placing a hand on her shoulder. "Tess, you gotta breathe. I know this is a lot. I know the pressure is crazy right now, but you can't let the internet get inside your head." Tessica tried to steady her breathing, but every inhale felt heavy, like she was dragging a boulder into her chest. She walked toward the small window and pushed it open wider, desperate for air. Outside, the neighborhood buzzed with weekend life, kids yelling, cars rolling by, dogs barking. But inside that bathroom, it felt like she was trapped inside a pressure cooker, one wrong move away from blowing up. Just then, her sister Monique burst into the house without knocking, yelling from the hallway, "Tess. Girl, what's going on? Mama called me crying talking about you, about to do something stupid." Her footsteps were rapid and heavy as she approached the bathroom. Shanice rolled her eyes and muttered, "Great, here comes the chaos." Monique shoved the door open, eyes wide and filled with alarm. She scanned the room, then fixed her gaze on the scissors lying on the counter. "Oh no, nope, absolutely not. You better not be thinking what I think you're thinking." Tessica froze. I wasn't." she stammered, but the truth hovered in the air. Monique picked up the scissors and waved them. Girl, have you lost your mind? Cutting your hair is the last resort. We are not doing this again. I don't have a choice, Tessica cried, grabbing the edge of the sink as if steadying herself from collapsing. Nothing is working. I've tried everything, literally everything. You didn't see the oil, or the soap, or the million other things people told me to put in it. I don't know what to do anymore. Monique's expression softened, but her voice stayed firm. Tess, I know this is scary. I know it feels like deja vu on steroids. But cutting your hair off in a panic isn't going to fix the problem. It's going to make you feel worse. Tessica shook her head violently, tears spilling over. I just want to feel normal again. I want to touch my head without feeling like I'm hitting a brick wall. I want to stop being the joke of the internet. People keep saying I should have learned the first time. But I did learn. I really did. This wasn't supposed to happen again. I tried to be careful, I tried to follow instructions. Shanice cut in, arms crossed. Yeah, but you also trusted that off-brand hairspray your cousin gave you. That stuff looked like it came from a dollar store that hasn't been open since 1992. I told you not to use that. Tessica groaned, covering her face. Don't remind me. Monique sat on the toilet lid, exhaling loudly. Okay, so what exactly did you use? You said it wasn't Gorilla Glue this time, right? Tessica hesitated, then nodded slowly. It wasn't supposed to be. It looked like a regular styling adhesive. The label was faded, but I don't know, I didn't think it would be this strong. Monique shot her a look. You used a faded label bottle of mystery product on your hair? Tessica Brown. Girl, are you allergic to good decisions? Don't yell at me right now. Tessica snapped back, her voice breaking. I already feel like an idiot. For a moment, the room fell into tense silence. The emotional weight lingered between them like thick fog. The only sounds were the faint noises from outside and the distant hum of the bathroom fan. Finally, Shanice spoke softly. Tess, we gotta figure this out. We need a plan. Something that doesn't involve you chopping off your hair in pieces like a horror movie. Before Tessica could respond, her phone buzzed again. She glanced at it reluctantly. The notification read, "Your live video is trending. Tune in now?" Her stomach dropped. She realized her earlier frustrated rant, which she had accidentally streamed publicly instead of privately, was circulating everywhere. People were screen recording it, stitching it, reacting to it. Monique's jaw dropped. Girl, you're live trending again. Oh Lord, the family group chat is about to explode. And as if on cue, the phone buzzed nonstop with messages. Her auntie sent a voice note filled with dramatic wailing. Her uncle texted, "Tell the internet to mind they damn business." Her grandma wrote, "Baby, come to my house. I got olive oil and prayer." Tessica buried her face in her hands and whispered, "I can't do this again. I swear I can't." Shanice tried to pull her into a hug, but Tessica stepped back, grabbing the edge of the sink again. Her fingers trembled as she touched her hardened hair. "I'm done trying," she murmured, voice hollow. "I'm done waiting. I'm done being scared." Monique narrowed her eyes. "Tess, what are you planning?" Tessica didn't answer. Instead, she walked slowly toward the counter. Her hand hovered over the scissors once more. And this time, there was no hesitation. She grabbed them. Monique lunged forward, shouting, "Tessica, don't." But Tessica had already lifted the blades. And with one desperate breath, she positioned them at the base of the first stiff lock. And everything froze in that moment, the air thick with dread, shock, and the sound of Monique's gasp echoing like an alarm. The scissors pressed against the first rigid lock, and for a split second, everything in the room seemed to stop. Monique's eyes grew huge, her mouth open as she reached out helplessly. Shanice froze in place, hands hovering midair like she didn't know whether to snatch the scissors, scream, or start praying. And Tessica, breathing in short, shaky bursts, felt the cold metal tremble slightly in her own grip. She whispered, almost inaudibly, "I can't keep living like this." But before she could close the blades, Monique threw herself forward and knocked the scissors from Tessica's hand. They clattered loudly against the tile, sliding underneath the bathtub. Tessica gasped, stumbling backward as Monique grabbed her shoulders tightly. "Girl, you lost your mind." "What are you doing?" she shouted, her voice thick with a mix of fear and anger. Tessica jerked away, tears streaking down her cheeks, frustration boiling over. "I told you," she yelled back. "Nobody is listening to me. I'm tired, Moni. Tired. This stuff is stuck to my scalp like cement. Nothing is helping. Everybody online is laughing at me again, and I'm over here losing my mind. What else am I supposed to do?" Shanice stepped between them, raising both hands. "Okay, hold on, both of y'all chill. This is getting out of control real fast." But Monique wasn't calming. She pointed harshly at Tessica. "No, because she really just tried to cut her hair off like she's in some dramatic movie scene. Girl, this ain't Netflix. You are not doing this." Tessica's shoulders sagged, and she sank down onto the edge of the bathtub, burying her face into her palms. Her voice came out muffled. "I didn't want it to come to this. I just don't know what to do anymore." For a moment, nobody said a word. The tension was suffocating. Even the buzzing from her phone finally stopped, as if the universe itself was holding its breath. Shanice sighed deeply. "Tess, listen, we need a real plan. Something that doesn't involve scissors or random online advice. We need someone who knows what they're doing." "And who is that?" Tessica snapped, lifting her head. "Because last time, the doctor basically used industrial-strength stuff on me. I don't know if they can even do that again." Monique crossed her arms. "Well, maybe that's still better than you doing surgery on yourself at home." Tessica glared at her. "You're not helping." Monique opened her mouth to respond, but before she could, the front door suddenly swung open again. Footsteps echoed through the hallway. "Tess? Baby girl? Where you at?" a familiar voice called out. Tessica's face drained of color. "Oh no, oh no." Shanice muttered, "Lord have mercy, not your mama." And sure enough, Mama Brown appeared at the bathroom doorway, breathless, wearing mismatched slippers and carrying a giant grocery bag. "I came as fast as I could. The family group chat said you was having another glue incident and losing your mind. I brought supplies." She dramatically held up the bag and Monique groaned, rubbing her forehead. "Mama, what's in the bag?" "Everything," Mama Brown replied proudly. "Olive oil, coconut oil, baby oil, vegetable oil, almond oil if I can find it in there. Also conditioner, Det Angler, baking soda, vinegar, a bottle of that expensive lotion your Auntie Linda swears by, 2 hair masks, and some holy water." Shanice choked on a laugh. "Holy water?" "Yes, holy water," Mama Brown said without blinking. "Don't question it." Tessica covered her face again. "Mama, please don't make this worse." Mama Brown marched into the bathroom. "Worse? How could it get worse?" "Baby girl, your sister said you was about to shave your head bald like you in the witness protection program." "I wasn't shaving it bald," Tessica whispered weakly. "Same thing," Monique muttered. Mama Brown ignored the comment, kneeling beside Tessica and placing the bag of random supplies on the floor. "Now, you listen to me. Before anybody cuts anything, we are gonna try everything in this bag. And if that don't work, then we'll pray. And if that don't work, then I know a lady who knows a lady who works at a salon that specializes in miracles. And if that don't work..." "Mama, please," Tessica said, voice trembling. "I can't take all this." Mama Brown cupped her face gently. "Baby, you don't have to go through this alone. We're here." Emotion hit Tessica hard. She bit her lip as her eyes filled again. "I just feel so embarrassed. Everyone online thinks I'm doing this on purpose. Like I'm some walking joke. Who cares what the internet thinks?" Mama Brown said firmly. "You are my daughter. And I'm not letting you give up." Before the moment could turn too touching, Monique's phone buzzed loudly from her back pocket. She glanced at it, frowned, then let out a groan. "Oh, you're not gonna like this." Tessica wiped her cheeks. "What now?" Monique turned the screen toward her. "Girl, someone leaked your rant video to a gossip page. It's got like 500,000 views already. They're calling it Gluegate Part 2. Tessica's stomach twisted sharply. No. Why won't the universe let me breathe?" Shanice peeked at the video. "Oh wow, the comments are ruthless." Somebody wrote, "She didn't learn the first time. Damn." Mama Brown squinted at the screen. Who's this? Hair Hazard Queen 208. She needs to hush before I track her down. But the news wasn't over. Monique kept scrolling, her expression worsening. They're stitching your video with old clips from last time. Memes already popping up. Your name is trending again. Oh, and look, some folks saying you planned all this to get attention. Tessica covered her face again, shaking her head as tears streamed freely. I can't do this again. Mama Brown wrapped an arm around her. Baby, you're strong. But this internet mess is toxic. We need to get ahead of it. Tessica sniffed. How? What am I supposed to do? Shanice thought for a moment. Well, maybe we should get professional help. Like, immediately. A hair specialist, a dermatologist, a chemist, somebody who actually knows what this mystery product is. Monique nodded slowly. Actually, that might be the smartest thing anybody has said today. Mama Brown looked concerned. But didn't you say the label on the bottle was faded? Yeah, Tessica said. Completely unreadable. You still got it? Monique asked. Tessica hesitated, then nodded. It's under the sink. I didn't want to look at it. Monique pulled open the cabinet and rummaged around until she found the small spray bottle, holding it up between two fingers like it was radioactive. This thing right here looks suspicious as hell. Shanice leaned closer. Girl, this looks like it came from a garage sale. Monique carefully shook it. It barely has any liquid left in it. But maybe someone can analyze what's in it. Tessica sighed deeply, rubbing her forehead. Who? Who do we even take it to? Before anyone could answer, Mama Brown gasped dramatically. I know just the person. Everyone turned toward her. Mama Brown raised a finger like she had just uncovered the meaning of life. Your cousin LaShonda. Monique nearly choked. Mama, LaShonda does nails in her garage. What is she gonna do? Girl, LaShonda took chemistry in 10th grade. Mama Brown replied confidently. She knows things. Shanice laughed. This is not the time. But Mama Brown waved her hand dismissively. All right, fine, maybe not LaShonda. But I do know somebody for real this time. Pastor Jerome's wife's sister's daughter works at a beauty supply store, and she's basically a hair genius. She might know what's in that bottle. Tessica stared blankly. Mama, what does that connection even mean? It means, Mama Brown said proudly, that I can make a call. Before anyone could protest further, she pulled out her phone and dialed someone while stepping out of the bathroom. Hello, is this Keishan? Yes, this is Mama Brown. Listen, baby, we got a hair emergency. Yes, another one. As Mama Brown disappeared into the hallway, Monique looked at Tessica. So, what now? Tessica sighed shakily. I don't know. I need a miracle. Shanice sat beside her. Then let's hope Mama can find one. But none of them knew that what Mama Brown was about to set in motion would become the next dramatic twist in this already chaotic saga, one that would drag new people into the mess, spark new conflicts, and take the situation from desperate to downright explosive. And it was only the beginning. The house felt strangely quiet after Mama Brown stepped into the hallway to make her mysterious call. Tessica, still sitting on the edge of the bathtub, stared blankly at the floor, her mind spinning like a wheel that wouldn't stop. Shanice sat beside her, gently rubbing her back, while Monique paced in circles, muttering under her breath like she was rehearsing a speech she planned to deliver to someone who desperately needed to hear it. Tessica finally broke the silence with a shaky whisper. I feel like everything is spiraling. Like the more I try to fix it, the worse it gets. Shanice nodded sympathetically. Baby, that's because you're stressed. You're panicking. And panic makes everything look 10 times bigger than it is. It is big, Tessica muttered. My hair is literally stuck. I'm trending for the wrong reason. People are laughing at me again. My reputation is, I don't even know what it is anymore. Monique stopped pacing. Your reputation is fine. The internet moves fast. They'll be onto something else in 2 days tops. Tessica shook her head. Not me. Every time something happens with me, it sticks around forever. I'm like a permanent meme. Before anyone could respond, Mama Brown suddenly reappeared in the doorway, her expression equal parts excited and smug, like she had just solved a case no one asked her to solve. All right, everybody, I got good news, she announced, holding her phone like it was a holy artifact. Keisha said she can help. She said she knows exactly who we need to talk to. Monique groaned. Mama, if this involves another cousin of someone whose name we've never heard before. It doesn't, Mama Brown interrupted proudly. This time it's legit. Keisha said she knows a professional hair restoration specialist. Someone with real credentials. Someone who knows how to break down chemical compounds and fix severe hair adhesive problems. Shanice raised an eyebrow. That sounds kind of legit. Tessica leaned forward slightly. Who is it? Mama Brown smiled dramatically. Dr. Alondra Birch. Tessica blinked. Who? Dr. Alondra Birch, Mama Brown repeated, as if the name should have been accompanied by a choir of angels. She runs that fancy hair science clinic on the other side of town. The one with all the celebrities and influencers who go there when their hair falls out or gets messed up. Monique squinted suspiciously. You mean that place that charges like $500 just to look at you? Mama waved a hand. Don't worry about that part. Keisha said she already texted Dr. Birch about the situation and she's willing to see Tess today. Like, right now? Wait, Tessica said slowly. Right now? As in right now. Yes, baby, Mama Brown said. She said it's an emergency case and she wants you to come in immediately. Shanice's eyes widened. Girl, that's a miracle for real. But Tessica didn't look relieved. If anything, she looked more overwhelmed than ever. I can't go out like this, she whispered. My hair is rock solid. People will stare. People will take pictures. I'm trending already. If someone sees me. Monique cut her off. Tess, you want this fixed or not? Because if you do, you gotta go. Nobody at a hair clinic is gonna judge you. Trust me, they've seen worse. And also, Mama Brown added, I can cover your head with my scarf. The big one. The one I wear to church on Easter. Shanice snorted. Mama, that scarf is basically a bedsheet. Which makes it perfect, Mama Brown said proudly. Tessica hesitated, hands trembling slightly as she tapped her fingers against her hardened hairline. After a long moment, she let out a slow exhale. Fine. Okay, I'll go. But we have to leave before anyone outside sees me. Mama Brown nodded. Say less. Everybody grab your stuff. We're going. Within minutes, they were gathering purses, jackets, phones, keys, and of course, the faded label spray bottle that seemed to be at the root of the chaos. Mama Brown draped her enormous, colorful scarf over Tessica's head, tying it securely under her chin like she was preparing her for windy weather, a fashion runway, and a disguise mission all at once. Mama, Monique said, squinting at the scarf, why does this look like you wrapped her for shipping? Because she is fragile right now, Mama Brown snapped. Now hush. They left the house in a rushed, chaotic formation, like a family on a mission they were absolutely not qualified for but 100% committed to. Shanice drove, Monique sat in the passenger seat, and Tessica squeezed into the back seat with Mama Brown, who kept one protective hand on her knee the entire ride like Tessica might leap out of the window if she blinked. The car ride was tense. No one said much at first. The only sounds were the humming of the engine and Mama Brown occasionally whispering prayers under her breath. Finally, Monique broke the silence. So, did Keisha say how long this is gonna take? She said Dr. Birch needs to examine the product first, Mama Brown said. She wants to analyze it and figure out what kind of adhesive it is. Shanice let out a low whistle. Dang, this is serious. Tessica stared out the window. I'm scared, she admitted quietly. Monique turned around in her seat. Hey, we got you. For real. And honestly, this lady sounds like she actually knows what she's doing. And if she don't, Mama Brown said, then I'll take you to Auntie Sandra's house and we'll fix it ourselves. Absolutely not, Tessica muttered. The car turned into a bright, modern complex with shiny windows, a huge logo, and a fountain out front that looked like it came straight from a luxury commercial. There were potted plants, clean sidewalks, and a line of expensive cars parked out front. The building looked way too fancy for the chaos they were carrying with them. When they walked in, the lobby was pristine, all white and glass and soft lighting. A receptionist with a perfect bun and flawless skin smiled politely when they approached. "Welcome to Birch Hair Science Clinic," she said softly. "You must be Tessica?" Tessica nodded nervously. "Yeah, that's me. Dr. Birch is expecting you," the receptionist said. "Please follow me." They walked down a hallway lined with framed photos of celebrities whose hair had supposedly been reborn by Dr. Birch's treatments. Some of the pictures looked suspiciously photoshopped, but nobody said anything. Finally, they were led into a large, sleek exam room where Dr. Alondra Birch stood waiting. She was tall, elegant, and wearing a lab coat so crisp it looked like it had been ironed 5 minutes ago. Her hair was perfect, smooth, shiny, and styled like she lived inside a shampoo commercial. She turned toward them with a confident smile. "Tessica, I've heard a lot about you." "Unfortunately," Tessica muttered. Dr. Birch laughed softly. "No need to be embarrassed. You're not the first person to get stuck in a sticky situation. Literally." Monique groaned. "Oh Lord," she got jokes. Dr. Birch extended her hand. "May I take a look?" Tessica hesitated, then slowly removed the oversized scarf. The moment her hardened hair was exposed, the doctor's eyebrows shot up. "Oh my," she said softly. "This is quite severe. Can you fix it?" Mama Brown asked immediately. Dr. Birch didn't answer right away. She walked around Tessica, inspecting her hair from different angles, gently tapping it with her fingernail. It made a faint clicking sound, like tapping wood. She finally stepped back. "I can help," she said, "but I need to run a chemical analysis on whatever adhesive was used." "Do you have the bottle?" Monique handed it to her like it was evidence in a crime investigation. Dr. Birch examined it closely. Her expression darkened slightly. "This is not a standard hair product." "So what is it?" Shanice asked. Dr. Birch looked up slowly. "It appears," she said carefully, "to be a type of industrial craft adhesive." Everyone froze. Mama Brown gasped dramatically. "Industrial? Lord have mercy." Tessica's eyes widened. "So it's glue? Real glue?" Again, Dr. Birch nodded. "But not the same kind as before. This one might be even stronger." Shock rippled through the room. And then Dr. Birch added something that made everyone's stomach drop. "And depending on how long it has been on your hair, this may be much more complicated than we thought." The room fell into a heavy silence the moment Dr. Birch spoke those words. Even the faint hum of the overhead lights felt louder somehow, buzzing like a warning signal. Tessica's heart dropped into her stomach, and she gripped the edges of the exam chair so tightly her knuckles turned pale. "Complicated," she echoed, her voice cracking. "What does that even mean? Am I gonna lose my hair? Is it gonna fall out? Is my scalp damaged? Just tell me straight." Dr. Birch held up her hands calmly. "I need you to breathe first. I'm not saying this is hopeless. I'm saying it's delicate." Mama Brown wasn't having it. She stepped closer, squinting at the doctor like she was trying to see whether she was lying. "Delicate how? Because right now you sound like you're avoiding the real answer." Monique crossed her arms. "Yeah, Doc, don't sugarcoat. We need the truth raw and unseasoned." Dr. Birch sighed softly, then picked up the faded bottle again. "This product contains industrial-strength binding agents. Based on the composition, it wasn't designed for any type of cosmetic use. Removing it without damaging hair or skin is very difficult." "So, what do we do?" Tessica whispered, trembling. The doctor paused. "We analyze the compound first. I'll run it through tests. It'll take about an hour. During that time, I want you to relax." "Relax?" Tessica snapped. "Relax? I'm one step away from being bald, and I'm trending for the wrong reason again, and you want me to relax?" Dr. Birch remained calm. "I understand the emotional weight of this, but panic will not help. Let me do my job." Shanice touched Tessica's shoulder gently. "We're here. We're not going anywhere. Let her figure it out." Dr. Birch nodded, then exited with the bottle, leaving the others in the room to process the whiplash of the moment. The second the door clicked shut, Mama Brown let out a dramatic gasp. "Lord, give me strength. I knew something about that bottle looked evil. I told you not to trust anything with faded labels. Faded labels mean faded blessings." Monique groaned into her hands. "Mama, please, you're not helping." Tessica stared blankly ahead, tears welling up again. I just wanted to do my hair. That's all. I didn't think I was about to ruin my life again. Shanice pulled a chair closer and sat in front of her. Baby, listen, what happened before you bounced back? You built a whole following, a whole brand. Yeah, it was messy, but you came out stronger. But now I'm a joke again, Tessica whispered. People already calling this Gluegate Part 2. People think I asked for this. And who cares what they think? Monique shot back. They're bored. The internet lives for drama. But we're your family. We know the truth. Tessica didn't respond. She wiped her face and curled into herself slightly, overwhelmed by everything happening at once. After a long, tense moment, Mama Brown spoke softly. Baby, I know you're scared. I know this feels like a nightmare you can't wake up from. But you're not alone. We're gonna fix this, even if we gotta stay here all night. Tessica's lips trembled. I'm tired, Mama. I'm so tired. Mama Brown crouched beside her chair, holding her hand. I know, but you're still standing. That's what matters. The room quieted. The air felt heavy but warm, wrapped in the weight of family care and raw emotion. About 20 minutes later, the door opened and Dr. Birch walked in with a clipboard. Her expression was serious, almost too serious. Everyone straightened immediately. All right, Dr. Birch said. I have results. And, Monique asked quickly, what are we dealing with? Napalm? Cement? Alien glue? Dr. Birch didn't smile. The adhesive used is extremely strong. But I did find something promising. The compound responds to certain solvent blends. Solvent blends? Shanice repeated. Like chemicals? Yes, Dr. Birch said. Safe ones, applied in a controlled environment. Not at home. Tessica swallowed hard. So you can fix it? Dr. Birch hesitated. And that hesitation nearly sent Tessica into a full panic. Doctor, Mama Brown warned, you better say something hopeful. Yes, Dr. Birch finally answered. I can soften it. I can break it down. But it won't be fast. And it won't be painless. Tessica's breath caught. Painless how? The solvent will cause a burning sensation, Dr. Birch explained. Not dangerous, but uncomfortable. And it must be applied multiple times. How many times? Monique asked. At least 4 rounds, the doctor said. Maybe more. Tessica closed her eyes. I can do it. I have to do it. Dr. Birch nodded. I'll start preparing the mixture. We'll begin in a few minutes. She stepped out again, and for the first time since arriving, the family let out a collective exhale. After a moment, Tessica whispered, do y'all think people will make fun of me after this too? Monique shrugged. Probably. But people make fun of everything. You can't live for them. Shanice nodded. Girl, social media is like a tornado made of clowns. Ignore them. Mama Brown waved her hand. And if I see one more person online talking mess, I'm reporting their account myself. That earned a small, shaky laugh from Tessica. A few minutes later, Dr. Birch returned wearing gloves and carrying a tray of neatly arranged tools and bottles. She spoke with calm authority. All right, we're ready to begin. Tessica took a deep breath. Okay, I'm ready. Family can stay, Dr. Birch said. Sometimes emotional support helps. They gathered around her as the doctor applied the first round of solvent. Almost immediately, Tessica winced. Ow, ow, that burns. I know, Dr. Birch said calmly. Deep breaths. It means it's working. Monique grabbed her hand. Squeeze my fingers if you need to. Don't squeeze too hard, Shanice added. Last time you panicked, you nearly broke my wrist. The room filled with tension as the doctor continued working carefully, section by section. The smell of the solvent was sharp, almost like a mix of acetone and something medicinal. Every few minutes, Dr. Birch checked the texture of the adhesive. An hour passed, then another. Finally, after what felt like forever, Dr. Birch stepped back and exhaled. Okay, the compound is beginning to soften. Mama Brown gasped. So it's working? Yes, Dr. Birch said. But slowly. She reached forward and gently pressed a small section of Tessica's hair. Instead of the hard plastic-like sound from earlier, it made a slightly duller sound. It wasn't free, but it was changing. Tessica teared up again, this time with relief. "Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you." "Don't thank me yet," Dr. Birch warned. "We still have a long road ahead. But this is progress." For the first time all day, the atmosphere shifted. Tension didn't disappear, but hope crept into the room like sunlight slipping under a door. They continued through 2 more rounds of treatment until Dr. Birch finally said, "That's enough for today. Your scalp needs a break." Tessica looked exhausted but relieved. "So, what now?" Dr. Birch removed her gloves. "You come back tomorrow morning. Early. We'll do 2 more rounds. By then, I should be able to fully break down the adhesive." Mama Brown sighed in relief. "Thank you so much." Dr. Birch nodded politely. "Get some rest, all of you." This was emotionally draining, I'm sure. Once they walked out of the clinic, the evening air felt cool and soothing. Tessica inhaled deeply, her scarf back on her head, but her heart a little lighter. "Today was," she began. "Chaotic," Monique said. "Terrifying," Shanice added. "A lot," Mama Brown finished. Tessica let out a weak laugh. "Yeah, all of that." As they reached the car, Tessica paused. Her eyes softened. "Thank you guys for not letting me fall apart." Shanice hugged her. "Girl, you almost did, but we caught you." Monique nodded. "And tomorrow, you're gonna get the rest of that stuff out for good." Mama Brown patted her cheek lovingly. "And when this is all over, we're throwing out every single questionable hair product in your house." Tessica smiled for the first time in what felt like days. "Deal." But as they got into the car, none of them noticed the person across the parking lot holding up a phone, recording them from a distance. And that video was about to go viral. Again. As the family drove away from the clinic, the sun dipping low behind the buildings, Tessica felt a strange mix of exhaustion and hope swirling in her chest. The nightmare wasn't over, but for the first time since everything spiraled out of control, she could imagine an ending that didn't involve panic, scissors, or viral humiliation. Yet little did she know that the video recorded in the parking lot was already making rounds online, gathering thousands of views by the minute. Clips of her wrapped in her mama's oversized scarf were being dissected, speculated on, and turned into fresh memes. Fans were shocked, confused, divided, and desperate to know what had happened, what was happening now, and what would happen next. Rumors spread faster than facts, and by the time she reached home, the internet was already telling 10 different versions of her story. Still, Tessica chose not to look at her phone. Not tonight. Not when she finally had a sliver of peace. She went inside, took a slow breath, and reminded herself that tomorrow could bring a solution, a real one. The family gathered around her, promising to stay the night, promising not to let her face anything alone. And as she settled onto the couch, wrapped in a blanket, she whispered to herself that maybe this time, things would turn out differently. But the questions lingered in the air. Would the treatment work completely? Would the internet support her or tear her apart again? And who exactly posted that parking lot video? And now, it's your turn to join the conversation. If you want to see what happens next, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single twist. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Whose side are you on, and what do you think tomorrow's treatment will uncover? Your voice keeps this story going.